and welcome to my channel. I'm the Angry Simmer, and for today's video we are going to be building the mini mansion in San Francisco that is the Full House house. So I am so excited to do this. It's so much fun. I posted in, I think, the Sims Central or the Sims Global on not on Instagram, on fudge, I can't talk right now, on Facebook, and with the listing of this place. So the current owners have it listed because I'm sure they're tired of people standing on their front porch and bugging the crap out of them. But before they decided to sell, they decided to furnish this thing in the most epic way possible. It is gorgeous, and they are asking an insane amount of money for this bad boy. And look, I realize that real estate in San Francisco is crazy expensive, like to the point where the house that Ant-Man has in Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp is like mentioned in the CinemaSins video, because there's no way an ex-convict could be paying for that house. Like, there's just not. So I get it. I really get it why they would want that super expensive house. I get it. But, you know, at the same rate, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's a lot of money. And maybe, like, if they were to go on HomeAway or Airbnb, like, they could totally, like, I can see that becoming a huge money maker for whoever purchases this house. But yeah, just for somebody who has the money to spend however many $1 million it's going to be to purchase this house, I can't remember exactly, but it's a lot. It's a whole lot. Like, whoever purchased this has to actually put down a down payment that is somewhere around $2 million. I do believe that's what I read. Fact check me, I'll link it in the description box. Also, those pillars that you're seeing me use right there, those are Felix Ander, but I hope you guys noticed whenever I did the fly-in, because I am trying to get better at stuff like that. I used like just base game ones on the other houses. I played around to see what I could do, and I feel silly that I didn't record that, because building all of those while I was just doing a shell, I did put a lot of the details in that I did on the front of this, and actually that's the part of buildings that I prefer. So if you guys want to see just, like, you know, like the Subdivision builds, like a bunch of shells and different ways you can make them look better, let me know. Also, I've been thinking about doing a like a little tutorial, because they are allowing the Sims to be to go for free right now. I kind of thought about doing like a little tutorial, maybe like teaching some new Simmers how to use the game, what to do, and like just different ways to get inspired and different ways to build. I wish I would have kept that side piece, because I ended up using it anyways. Yeah, for the wide shot anyway. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys would be interested in something like that, like how to take an image that you see and make it work in The Sims with move objects on and like layering stuff in. As I've expressed a couple of times before, my personal style is more minimalistic and has less stuff going on. But as you'll see in how I decorated the living room in this one, I went all out. I made this thing look cool. At least I think so, and I hope you think so as well, because pretty proud of this one. Also, I would just like to point out, while the front of this house has those gorgeous windows from Strangerville. I used some Peacemaker CC ones from like a more modern one, because that's what's in the house. And if you're thinking about purchasing a home, and I understand that getting like historic windows or historically accurate looking windows is expensive, like I totally get it, but please, if you're not doing a full modern extension, don't put modern windows on a traditional building. Just like, this is a beautiful St. Anne classic home, and the new owners have, the front is all original, and they did a great job of like making sure it stuck to the period and all that stuff, and it's beautiful. And like the interior is a gorgeous modern setup. I totally love it. But But they put those stinking modern windows all over this building, and it makes no sense because it just doesn't look right to me. Like the back of the house, if you go on the real estate listing, and I'll link it below. From the back, it looks like just like a bungalow, like a beach bungalow from, you know, some mass building company, and it just bugs the crap out of me because I personally love historic homes. I love the way that we used to build things. I love the way that, I don't know, the craftsmanship of that time frame was. I don't know. Everything about the modern, like, quick build homes I hate, and I wish we would go away from that because there's just so much beauty in a home that takes some time. Now I realize that, like, that would make it more expensive. Also, who does not want a sink in their laundry room? Like, come on, that's so useful. My laundry room is like right next to my kitchen. It's a straight up mud room basically, because it's off my garage and you just walk through it and then to the kitchen. So it's like super easy for me if I need to wash something to just walk over the sink and like scrub, got some mud in there. But every time I look at a real estate listing and I see that their laundry room is a separate room and they have a separate mud room, there's something inside me that's like, yes. Anyways, I did try and build this basement apartment to look as much like the listing as I possibly could, and as well as like the main living space and kitchen. So the basement floor and the main floor, I did as much as I could to make it look like the listing. And then upstairs, I did what I want. Like the new owners or the current owners have the sort of like accent walls that I put in. Like they're relatively the same color, and I think they've got like the same sort of paneling idea going on in the two rooms. But I can't remember, so... Oh, also, I didn't do a fly-through on this one, but I did do images. Yeah, there's screenshots for you guys at the end, so enjoy. Also, I spent way too much time trying to make these work, and they're shelves that I sized down, so they're just not gonna work. It's just not gonna look good. You can't float you can't float everything to the right spot with them, so it's a no. Yeah, but I think, like, I feel like I made this look cute. Like, it looks like a good little, like, you know, like a, why do I keep wanting to say home away? I can't figure this out. I don't know why my brain's not working today. Probably because, the last time I was recording videos, I, tried to kill myself with caffeine. So I'm pretty caffeine sensitive, like, to the point where I was at work one day and called my mom because I thought I was going to have a heart attack. It turns out that I just had too much caffeine. Like, I walked over to a car and sat in it, and by the way, I used to work for CarMax, so it's not weird. I didn't just walk into a random person's car. I, like, was sitting on the lot. Anyways, but I sat down and I called my mom and I was just like, Mom, I think I'm going to have a heart attack. I don't know what's going on. And, like, my dad's had a stroke and my mom's in the medical field, so... It makes sense. Anyway, so I'm calling her and she's like, okay, calm down. How much caffeine have you had? And I started to list off how much caffeine I'd had at that point. And mind you, it's like 11:30 a.m. at this point, and I'd had 2 cups of coffee at home, or 1 cup of coffee at home, and then like 2 or 3 cups of coffee that morning at work, with hot cocoa packets in them, because the coffee at my work was really gross. It was the wrong cocoa coffee, and it's just super acidic and just it just doesn't taste right. Oh, I was so excited about that table. I felt like this was like the perfect table. Like it was gonna, like, a door that used to be in the building, and they used it. They reclaimed it. It was perfect. Oh, I loved it so much. I love it. Love it. I struggled so much with the chairs for that, though. It was a pain in the butt. Anyways, but back to the heart attack story. So and the coffee's horrible, so we put hot cocoa packets in it. And if you didn't know, hot cocoa actually has more caffeine than coffee in it. So yeah, mixing high caffeine levels with high caffeine levels, and it just like, oh, so the space for this room is bigger than what I have here. Like, I think there's a sitting area and everything, but I just didn't have the room on this lot. I'm really annoyed because I should probably redo this one and like the back of it because I had more space, because I moved it onto the big lot in Brindleton Bay, but I was trying to keep it small and force myself to make a smaller build so I didn't go crazy. Also, for some reason, everything was super bright on this one and I couldn't get the light to calm down, but I went to do the screenshots and it's like perfect. And so I'm just super annoyed. But yeah, so I don't know why I was telling you guys about the caffeine story. I've gotten so far off of it at this point. I don't know. Yeah, who cares? Moving on, if you guys are interested in downloading this one, it will be up on the gallery as just the single one, and then I'm also going to put up the whole one that you saw me flying in through. Remember that it is a shell, all the other ones, so it is like a little subdivision again, because I'm falling in love with subdivision builds. Oh, the frustration. I don't know why the game does it. There's nothing that should be blocking those from being able to be there, but it is, so, you know, it's like, screw you. Anywho, if you want to, like, you will need the custom content. It sometimes will replace it with other custom content. Those would have been pretty to stay as that color too. It would have worked, but anyways. Yeah, so there's a lot of Peacemaker in here. There is some Felixander. You can see those pillars right there, but you can switch those out for other build items and it won't be a big deal. And it'll look just as good, I think. And I even thought about switching them out because they are so thick, and because I didn't use them on any of the other buildings, it kind of stands out a little bit more than I wanted it to. So I don't know. I could like go crazy and do all Felixander stuff and like add in some of his archways and stuff to make it really fun, but I don't know because that's not what the build actually looks like. So we'll just have to figure that out. Like, I don't know if anybody watches my channel that records their builds, but I have been building lately. Like, I'll do a practice build, which is just supposed to be like little bits, little things here and there to help me kind of just sharpen my skills and get better at this. And then it'll turn out that I'll do like a perfect build. Just everything's fantastic. Every angle's great. Every shot looks perfect of it. And I'll be like, why didn't I record that? Like, that would have been such a better video than XYZ that I just put up. And I get so mad. Like yesterday, and I posted a picture of it on the Sims forum, Sims Global, I can't remember, but I did this tutor style build, and I was actually not even practice building. I was going in and I was going to like have a restaurant. I wanted to play the restaurant field for some reason, or like a vet clinic, something, doctor, I can't remember now. But either way, like it's this beautiful tutor build, and I just like, and I was like, all right, you know what? And this is, I started to work on this video, by the way, at 8:30 this morning. I was going to do the voiceover. It's now 11:45. And I went in to just do like, I decided I wanted to do the opening fly up. And instead of just going to where I built this and like moving it somewhere else, I couldn't find that file for some reason because I had built it like, you know, edit world. I couldn't remember which Sims it was, so I just made a new character and I spent all this time making her. And then I went in and I started doing this huge neighborhood thing building up, and so now it's 1:45, and it's the same thing with that tutor build. I went from like, oh, here's this cute little house I can build for her off of Pinterest, and it turned into this massive awesome build, and I never actually built that cafe or restaurant or whatever it was that I wanted to have her work at. So that's cute. I love when I do stuff like that. It's just so smart and such a good use of my time. But I hope you guys are noticing in here that I am adding like more clutter in. I'm actively trying to make them better and more interesting looking builds because I've fallen in love with the stuff of like Pixel Playground. Okay, it's not new by any means. I have always loved her stuff. Always thought it was wonderful, and I've talked about it a million times on here. And of course, I've been watching Harry's videos when she actually gets around to posting. Sam, excuse me. It's okay, she's a busy woman. But so, you know, her stuff's got a little bit more going on to it. It's just more interest, and I'm just trying to be better at this. You know, if I'm gonna have a channel where I'm building these things and making them, they don't all need to be like super classic, minimal, you know, semi-Victorian style stuff. I basically don't need to decorate it like it's my house every time. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying not to just use Peacemaker stuff. I'm trying to add a little bit more clutter, a little bit more stuff here. I'm trying to make it look more like somebody would actually live there. So yeah, hopefully you guys are liking it, because if you're not, then it's a problem and I'm wasting my time. So let me know. Also, I probably should have cut a lot of this, but I thought I had already done that, so I'm sorry. I just went back and forth a lot on how I wanted this guest room to be, because this in my mind is a guest room. Oh, those damn modern windows. They are fine, don't get me wrong. I like them. I like the modern windows on other builds, but I actually think they like complete the rooms very well. It's just the idea of putting modern windows on a Queen Anne traditional style home. It just hurts so much. I don't know if I'm being weird about that. I probably am, but you know, who cares? But yeah, so this one is supposed to be the kids' room. I don't know why I decided that there should be a guest room and that 2 kids would have to share a bedroom just so that their family could have a guest room, but you know what? There it is. They do. And there are 2 little kids too. So I put in like a toy chest and a little thingamajigger, and just done. I was done and I liked it. Do I change that color? I don't. Okay. And I leave in this bathroom. But we are actually almost to the screenshots at this point. Thank you guys so much for sticking around for another really long build. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I hope you did too. Like I said, the listing for this will be up if it's not already sold and taken down. Probably won't be because it's super expensive. But yeah, let me know if there's any other builds you guys would like to see, or if you guys would like a little bit of a tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy. Bye.